It's your man, the Afro Rican, Orlando Crespo, giving you the rice and beans. Know what I mean? What up, Slime?
Hey, what's happening? It's your boy, Collard Park, man. Look, seasoning with some remix. We got the power phones up in here, all up.
Yeah, something like that.
Yo, what's good? It's the God Flex, the original root intellect, man. Thank you for having me as always. Soundproof 101, let's go.
That's right.
We got a lot to talk about. 1-8 in the building, let's go.
Yes, indeed. It's been a heavy week. Ooh, heavy week.
Man, who you telling?
Oh, my goodness. Where do we start?
Let's start with the justice. Justice as so far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Conviction in the George Floyd case. But I don't want to cheer. I don't want to do nothing until the sentence drop. Because people don't understand. They can still get this man less time. Might not get if he don't get to 40, to me, it don't matter. Man lost his life. I think you should spend the rest of your life in jail. So if it don't go like that, to me, it's just another y'all thought y'all won, but y'all didn't.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Now, when was the sentencing? How long does that take to usually be issued?
I hope I heard this wrong. But I think they said my man will take 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
I was hoping I heard that wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it was something that I was just like, huh? You know, so I don't know, man. I think with all the shit that went on, they should have had that shit ready to go.
Right.
So, but they ain't came with it yet. So
that's the good old court system. They take their time when they want to. Like they still trying to sentence them two white boys with Aubrey.
I'm on.
Yeah, with Aubrey.
Oh yeah.
They still ain't. Yeah, they still waiting on them. How long ago was that?
See that they got been convicted. I thought they was
yet.
next.
They still sitting.
They still gathering information.
Yeah, I don't think they've been through. Have they been through their trial yet? I don't think they've been through the trial.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, because I saw a few things where they was like telling them like on some Goldberg thing, like you next.
Yeah.
I saw that. And you know the world is all wrestling.
Right.
You know it's all wrestling.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did see something about that.
And what I noticed today, they had that officer for the Ahmaud Brooks shooting. That was on the news today too. So a lot of that stuff is surfacing now. It's time justice be distributed fairly.
But my problem is, why is this brother? I can't say brother. Why is this cat even on trial? I'm trying to understand, why do we have to go through this whole process? We got video. What else y'all need?
You're right. I agree
We
with
still
you.
got to prove people.
Yeah, you got to prove it though. I agree.
And even though,
with that.
I
agree with that.
Yeah, I understand because video can say something that we got to make sure we get the facts right. Just because we have video to support our claims, we need to make sure that we go through the process. Everybody deserves due process.
Okay.
Everybody deserves
I'm
that.
one that believe guilty until proven innocent. I'm one to believe that.
Guilty till proven innocent.
Yeah.
Innocent
innocent.
until
Guilty.
Right. I'm sleepy.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that again. We're not gonna do that again.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it though. I do.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense, but I just always look at it the other way around. You know, if it was the other way around, you think I would have been able to go to trial for a week and a half, 2 weeks?
I mean, yeah, they would have gave you that. I mean, they would have had your sentence ready, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
they would have. My orange. I would have walked in my orange.
I mean,
suit.
you know, they had to even
cuffs.
I don't know if you've seen it, but you know, they had to actually say, no, he ain't going home. You know what I'm saying? Like they had the attorney actually had to, ask the judge, like, he done.
Yeah.
He was like, take him into custody. He done. Like at that point that you found guilty, you shouldn't get to go home. That should be a no-brainer.
Right.
I picked up on a terminology prior to the sentencing, prior to the conviction. Excuse me. It was called remand.
Remand.
Yeah, that means you get taken into custody immediately after the verdict is read.
CNN got me laced.
I said, wow, oh man, who you telling?
CNN got me laced.
Who you telling?
You need to get some stock in CNN. All of us done been watching more of these last 2 years.
Show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about sponsor our show. What's up?
Send that over, man. Send that over.
Bennett, Huh? Send that over.
So let me ask y'all something. I heard you say that if it's not 40 years, that it's not.
That's just how I feel. That's my personal.
No, I get it. I get it. But like, so outside of them getting the max, like what else is gonna make our community whole again? Like, you know how we talk about always when we go through stuff like this in certain situations, it's all about making things whole. You know. So what? Like, are you saying it's 40 or nothing?
Me personally, I feel that way. I just feel like a man lost his life. Why you shouldn't get to do 10 years and then start over? I don't think you deserve that. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't even think he had first-degree charges on him, right?
yeah, it was all second degree. But
Second
I think
degree
all
and the manslaughter.
The minimum I think was 10 years.
Right.
But then it was some. You might
He had
have
3
seen
charges,
too.
right?
Yeah,
Four
and
charges.
they was, I guess what it was, they was trying to see if they run it consecutively or how they was
Concurrent.
doing. Yeah, so that's what the hold up is. Yeah. So,
I don't know.
If you end up with 10 years
yo,
and then all of a sudden you get out in 5 for good behavior,
yeah,
I
nah.
think this is an L for our
oh
community.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because that's definitely not happening to people in our community. We get more than that for holding 3 drums of crack.
Man, this people's locked down.
3
now,
vials
man.
in
Yeah,
New York.
It's 3
Weed.
people on life.
Yeah.
For weed.
Non-violent crime.
Yeah, for weed.
For weed.
Yeah.
And now they selling it in states where it's
Same
legal.
stuff, yeah. We
And
can't
people
even get it
getting rich and they
decriminalized.
couldn't even get
They
that
can't even get
decriminalized.
out.
They
Right.
still locked up.
Still locked up.
So yeah, definitely that'd be a huge slap in the face. He ended up with 10 years.
But I think with this, man, like the question you asked, and it's kind of going back to what Killer Mike said. You still gotta plan and execute. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most important thing. Let's say he do get the time, he get out, okay. But like what happens in our community? That's still going on every day. Right. So if he go away for 40, still got to get the community together so we can move forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now everybody is just waiting on who come next to tell us what we should do. In your community, you should be that person if you can, if you got it in you. Because you know it ain't in everybody. So I ain't telling anybody to go out there. It's not in there. It's not in everybody.
Right.
But you know, just that has to happen now. Yesterday, last week.
Yeah.
Because as we seen, the day that the conviction happened, hours later or before?
In Ohio.
Yeah.
That shooting in Ohio.
Yeah, it was a couple hours later.
You know, so I mean, with that shooting, like we got to get it together, man. Just as a community, we have to get it together. We can't always expect somebody to give us something.
That's right.
I agree.
It's crazy you said that. Talking about that shooting in Ohio, and we'll get back to the subject. I think it kind of overshadowed the conviction when that shooting occurred, because immediately it kind of lost steam. Just my opinion, you know what I mean? Like what happened, I found out immediately, like the next day.
Our focus changed to the next situation.
Exactly, quickly.
But I mean, at that point, what else are we focusing on that he's convicted? So really, again, like I said, it took too long to me.
Yeah,
Personally,
it did.
It just took too long. They had the doctor come in to try to say he died from carbon monoxide because his head was about to exhaust. How the hell his head get down there?
You know what? You know what, though? I'd rather take this long to get it right than to rush it and they get it wrong and that man walk the street.
Right.
Like
I agree with that.
They brought in some of the best from around the country, dog, for this. So that they know that I was on this one, dog. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if it take that long to get it, as long as they got it, man, you know, we done seen a lot of people locked up in quick trials. You know what I'm saying? There's people getting out of jail every day. I seen a dude got out of jail 23 years. Then he found innocent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man lost a lifetime. Some people don't even live to 23.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it takes. I'd rather walk than run on this kind of shit, man. Like, be honest.
I think what happens too, what we forget about in the legal system is lawyers are actually trained to look for inconsistencies in stories, and then we have to be able to prove without a reasonable doubt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't actually go with. I don't know. Let me say this right. So I feel like sometimes, and I'll make sure that I say I feel like what they do is their job is to plant seeds of doubt in the jurors, so they can say, well, I mean, yeah, I know this happened, but can you say it happened without a reasonable doubt?
Unequivocally.
Yeah, you feel me? And that's what kind of happens with this. Like in this entire trial, if you followed it, you can see where they were going for George Floyd's character. Like George Floyd, it was points at the trial when it was like, who's on trial here? We can't use the fact that the officer is like his past situations and issues with people. We can't use that, but we're gonna talk about drug use. We're gonna talk about criminal stuff. We're gonna talk to me, that's what this the court system for me as a black American is all about. Like, I don't want to say nonsense because I don't want to just completely disrespect it, but it's all about making us seem like at the end of the day that we gonna ultimately be the bad guy. Like, this is like old school cowboys and or white hats and black hats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use cowboys and Indians, but that's what this is. It's good guys versus bad guys. And the good guys always seem to come out on top. And even in this situation, even though we got a conviction, like, we're still worried about, like, oh, they're not going to give you no time. You know what I'm saying? Where Pookie and them, who drug addicts are, you know,
Done.
yeah, like they getting 6-7 years for being addicted, but then in white America, like now that meth is real big, like people are like, this is substance abuse. We don't want to like it. It's always something different, which is why, like, even when we spoke before, when we talk about America and the rules that they have, I always feel like the rules are always like it's different from being an American and being black in America or color or a person of color in America, because I don't want to exclude people.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's always a difference to me. know, and this case, I mean, we'll see if it sets precedent. We'll see, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, even like you said, the young lady who called the cops to her house and the cops just came out dumping. Like, I just don't feel like that happens to white people. And I'm not saying, I'm pretty sure there's a situation where it happened.
Right.
But for us, that is our reality. That's our life.
That's common.
Which one is that? Was that
In Ohio?
Yeah, the little girl.
Yeah, little girl.
with the knife?
Yeah. So, and I even see our people with Stockholm syndrome. And they going out there saying, "Oh, well, look, like she was doing this, that, there, and the third." But he came out immediately, like with guns. Like, where's the tasers in that?
Really?
Right.
See, I didn't see the video.
You didn't see it?
I
Yeah.
read up on it, but I didn't.
The show's good friend who was on here one time, Mike Robb, had posted about it, man. So I want to, and he was Stockholm. What up, Mike?
But I think just from what I read and they were talking about, and that's why you have to be careful with the media outlets that you do read, because it when it went down that line of it could have been two people dead, because they said she was in the process of stabbing the other girl. Like I said, I didn't see the video, so they said that she was in the process of stabbing the other girl. So had they not, they would have. She probably would have been killed, and the young girl that was getting
the altercation.
Yeah, and the altercation was going to get killed. But also, I was reading too that the parents was out there, the father was out there.
It was a man out there.
Period. And
Folks
it
scared
shouldn't
of
have
the
never
kids,
even
man.
got to that point.
Folks scared
it
of
was like
kids.
they was egging it on to let it happen.
I mean, I seen it.
I didn't know that.
Kicked in the head. So I mean,
Right.
it was disgusting in the way you want to put it. So
And I don't want to make it seem like we putting it all on the judicial or the police force.
'cause you
But I'm
gotta-
just saying, when you come out there and you hear, it's kids or something, like, I don't think we should be looking at lethal force right out the gate.
Right.
Like, you could have pulled up just as easy as you had your hammer out. You could have had your taser out.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could have hit her with the bang. She zap up, and Now, maybe
Even
we
that,
saved her
like
life.
you-
I don't know.
Even that, like you said, they were kids. You supposed to be trained.
That's
They
it.
give you combat training when you become a police officer. I know if I'm vested up in all this and I see a little 13, and I ain't gonna say little because there's some 13-year-old.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
It's the steroids and the chickens, but that's another show.
Right. Well, you crazy. You right.
But I'm gonna use my training to try to disarm them before I just come out busting. That's just me personally. But again, they say they're trained, and in some states that they can just come out if the person is in the way of harming somebody else or them,
Right.
then they can use deadly force. That's what I read.
That's
So,
crazy. They don't pose a threat to that police officer.
Well, they
They
said
do.
if
They pose a threat
I'm
to
posing a threat
civilians.
to you,
Got you.
like if I got a knife towards you, they can come spray me up.
Sure.
So letter of the law, he did right.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they saying.
Right. So,
We killing kids. Kids target practice.
yeah.
Oh,
I
that's,
mean, that's
that's
always
sad.
been that, right? They've been killing kids.
Oh, yeah, easy. easy because they don't show up nowhere.
Let me ask you a quick question before we wrap. Whatever. About Derek Chauvin, bro. It ain't no church in the wild. So, say he did his 10 and went on. It might be bounties all over him out here around this country. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I don't know if you safer in or safer out.
You say a bounty?
Yeah.
It don't exist. The Zimmerman still living.
There you go. Amen.
He would move to another state and get another badge.
And be a cop again.
He get another
He can stay
badge.
right where he at, dog. If he
Right.
get out, Zimmerman still living. So that proves that ain't going on.
Yeah.
Like that's just it.
I just want to throw that out there. That's all.
It sound good, but yeah, the way they let these folk get off, man, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. But let's move on.
Sure.
We got another situation we had happen where an actual cop was vindicated in her right doing.
Okay.
I think what you doing, Brad?
Hit one of the buttons, man.
Close the show out, open the show out. What you
We
doing?
need some cheers or some shit.
Actually did the right thing, man. Actually did the right thing. I let Flex take that one away because he can talk about it better than I can.
Absolutely. So, this was Carrie L. Horn, Buffalo police officer, 18 years. Y'all know I'm from Buffalo, so this is actually Yeah, this is actually
That's what's
personal
up.
for me.
Uh-huh.
But she actually stopped one of her fellow officers from choking a kid, and then she was fired for that. You know what I'm saying? So after 18 years on the force, decorated officer, she was fired for stopping that situation. Said they hit her with a bunch of felonious charges and a bunch of nonsense. But and this was, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was 2006 that this happened. Right. And because she had only had 18 years, so she'd been fighting this for 14, 15 years.
Wow.
But because she only had 18 years, her pension never vested. She had to have 20 years for her pension to vest. So, and to add to this, just so we know that the person the young man who was black was being choked out was actually exonerated of all charges. So. Like she literally, she saved a life. She saved a life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying at this point. But she recently won her case that got her back pay for the 2 years that she was kind of like suspended or whatever it was to actually hit her 20 years to actually be able to be pension eligible.
Right.
So that in itself is a major thing. Yeah. But the one thing I want to say about Ms. Horn is this was never really about just her. It was about other officers out there who are going through the same type thing. So we honestly, we can see that we have an issue with this. This is something, the way we are policed in America, this is something that happens everywhere. She's actually said that she's had many officers reach out to her and thank her because they've been through similar situations. Like that blue code that we always speak about, blue lives over whatever. Yeah. That is real. You know what I'm saying? And you see it in a lot of instances, but she has been fighting for this the entire time. And I just personally, because she's from Buffalo, I just want to say thank you, because it's people like you. People don't know about Buffalo. Like, they always call us the city of good neighbors. And that was really a good neighbor deed. That was something that's how Buffalo, that's how we are. Even if the people that you might not really care for, you still don't want no harm to be to them. You know what I'm saying? So if forever, for any reason, y'all feel like, somebody from the town may see further than others, because of the people that we stand on. And there's people like Ms. Horn that I definitely want to give major credit to, because she's been fighting this, like I said, for 14, 15 years for her to finally get like some bit of vindication from it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud to be able to sit here and say that she's from Buffalo and she stood up for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot to me to be on this platform and give her credit for that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Officer
Yes,
Horn.
indeed, man. Think about, you said 14 years. We could say that easily, but what was she doing in between that time? You got to think about the struggles that she was going through. She was doing the job for 18 years that she loved and got fired for doing the right thing.
Right thing.
And they sat on her for 14 years.
Right.
That's a long time.
Right.
Somebody else that wasn't probably as strong as her could have ended up strung out.
That's what she
Dead
said.
somewhere.
It's actually a cop in New Orleans. She spoke about it recently. A cop in New Orleans who ended up killing himself from going through the same type struggles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to help her get her story out like this, it's amazing because we always look bad on cops, especially in our community.
Right.
Sure.
But every cop in the community ain't bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We never speak like that.
Yeah, and I want to make sure we give somebody, the cops that's doing their thing, I want to give them credit.
Right.
And I want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Because we need them.
But we need y'all to, like, we need the pressure. We need to put pressure on the cops that ain't doing the right thing.
Because if I hear some wop
yeah.
outside the house, I'm gonna call before
And I
go
need to
out
know
there.
where my tax dollars going.
Man, if you knock at my door, then I got something for you. But if it's I'm gonna call. Hey, y'all come around the corner. Something happening.
Something going on.
Something happening. I want you to do your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but she been fighting that fight for a long time. They pinned her as a bad person. At one point in time, I believe she was living in Langfield projects, and they even put her out the projects at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like you in the P's, and all of a sudden they tell you gotta go from the P's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't confirm that I'm pretty strong on it, the source I heard, but like these stories that you hear about the stuff that she been through in her life, and for her to continuously be fighting and make it about, you know what I'm saying, that qualified immunity, which I don't know if y'all know about qualified immunity, but it's where, you know, the cops, they kind of get like immunity from the things that happen in line of service.
Okay.
So that's one of the big things in police reform that they really pushing for. And literally in the town, I know in the city, they have a new law that just came about that it's actually an officer's duty now to and I don't know if it's city law or state law, but it's your duty if you see something like that to act on it now.
Okay.
And I
See
know they're
something, say
pushing
something.
for it right now.
Right.
They need to.
Yeah, they're pushing for it right now to be a federal law.
They need to.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we shouldn't have to make a law for you to do the right
Do
thing.
the right thing.
You feel me? Like it's kind of like come on. But they're actually pushing for that to be a law, and you can check her out at, I believe it's carrierhorn.com if I'm not mistaken.
Just Google her name.
Yeah, Google her
Yeah,
name.
Google
You can
her
pull
name.
that stuff up. But that's important to me because, like I said, it happened in my hometown.
And that happened about 2 weeks ago. Was it
That
about?
she got her. It's been about at least a week or two since it happened. Yeah. But like I said, shout out to her, man. It's people like her that make like doing the right thing and make me feel good for doing the right thing.
Sure.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
He wanted to touch.
I'm gonna go on and slide it over here, ladies.
Please.
Since he wanna press buttons.
Get your practice in, bro.
I'm good.
Shout out.
We're gonna move on, man. This is a something we want to shine a light on, like our biggest light on this situation here. I don't know if you all know anything about what's happening up in the University of Richmond.
This what we about to talk about is for anybody that got a kid, dreams to go to college, in college, just connected to college, anything, because this is very, very important. Go ahead, Sean.
So what's happening at the University of Richmond is they have some buildings. First off, let me give you a little bit of history on Virginia before I go into this. Virginia is, I think it's like the capital of the Confederate. It was the capital of Confederate back in the day. So they had plenty of Confederate
Monument, statues.
Heroes.
and I didn't even want to say
that's
that.
what they call
That's
them.
why you saw me do this.
I see where you're going.
I didn't want to say heroes. That's why I did this. But they have a whole lot of monuments and statues. Now they have been the fastest state in removing. They removed over 71 statues and monuments faster than any other state in the U.S.
Didn't they have the
Oh,
most?
wow.
Huh?
Didn't they have the most? Did I read that right somewhere?
Yeah, they had the
Had the
most
most.
also. So they moved them the fastest. And there's only one standing now. It's still one standing. And the only reason it hasn't left yet is because it costs so much money.
1.8?
Yeah, 1.8 million to move it. Robert, it's a big statue and monument.
We need to start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anything else?
GoFundMe. Yeah, we got one for everything else. We can start the
Right.
GoFundMe now.
You're right. So that's just a little bit about, Richmond and Virginia and all of that. But to go back to the University of Richmond, it is they have two buildings that are named after a slave owner and a very large advocate of Robert E. Lee. And the Black Student Coalition decided that they wanted that name changed. And it's been there for a while. that they've been trying to change it, but now it's coming to the forefront to where they're really making a bigger strides to make that happen. And they're coming up against a lot of stuff when it comes to the school itself. And so they need really all the help that they can get, all the ears and eyes on this situation that they can get, because they have done a lot of almost everything they can possibly do. And it's like almost now they're sitting on their hands waiting, but they've been doing that for a long time now. And now they want to make change. They want to make a move. And that's just part of what's happening there at the University of Richmond. So
I came across that. Go ahead, Chris.
I read a few articles that they were the board of trustees. They were pretty resistant, hesitant about changing these schools, the names on these buildings, these halls, and these dormitories that these kids live in.
right.
And I've also read an article that, prior alumni, they were pushing this, but they're beating, board of trustees are beating around the bush to make change. And there's a few of them whose kids attended the universities or whatever. And I'm sure it's a lineage within their family about this school, because I hear it's pretty prestigious and a predominantly white school.
Right.
The students are having a hard time not only changing the names, but a lot of them feel alienated as well. College or university is a place for higher living. It's a place where you're supposed to go and evolve, find yourself, and just overall be a better person. And we send our kids there for a sense of security as well. But it's a lot of tension going on right now, and not too long ago they held a gift day where donors would donate to this institution, but they hashtagged it as change the names. So they had faculty, staff out there as well protesting with these students. I read that gift day only generated $25.
What?
Yes. So it's a lot of people backing this. You know what I mean? And there was also a professor that says, hey, she's witnessed black kids being singled out in class.
Yeah, I saw that.
To speak.
30-year professor.
Yeah, 30-year professor. According to their race, and to, of course, elaborate on athleticism. Why is that?
I'm going to come back to that later.
Sure. But go ahead, do your thing. You good.
Minorities are not comfortable going to this school, period. They have nowhere to meet, from articles I read. They just, it's uncomfortable to, I went to college. I couldn't imagine going to school. Not only I got to think about my courses, my classes.
Sure.
I got to think about how I'm going to be treated by my professor, other college kids. I mean, it's a lot to deal with and still try to concentrate on what you're there for.
Right.
At the point that the kids are saying, we ain't even got nowhere to meet. But we trying to get this building here, this building there. They won't give us the funding. They say they got to make sure this, that, and the other. And what I mean by this, that, and the other, I want to be clear. They got to make sure the building is being used for good. It's got to make sure it's being used because they don't want to put the money behind it.
Right.
Like when the people saying that, well, we ain't got nowhere to hang out. Like white kids got everywhere to go.
Every weekend.
You know what I'm saying? They said, but the minorities, they got a little closet and they got to figure it out. Why would you want your reputation as an institution of learning to be surrounded by that is one of my major questions. And if you're an alumni at this school, why not speak up unless you're on board with the behavior? These are things that we have to look at, and now they got this thing going where they say don't get no money to the school. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for that, because only thing people in them positions know is loss of funds.
That's right.
Their reputation, they get past that. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? You start messing with that pocket, though.
That's right. Get their attention.
Things change. I read that it's buildings out, it's places that's willing to take these statues and all this stuff and, make sure it's taken care of, and they're going to set up what I call a museum of racism. You know what I'm saying? So people can go in and see what all the all their pride and all that bullshit. Right, they got a place for that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's sad to know that the kids got to go against the school in this manner for just to go to school. Like they ain't asking for no check.
Right.
They just want to go to school.
Right.
If I'm a kid in Richmond, Virginia, you know, we're predominantly what you got? 59 is white, 8 black, 7.7 is Hispanic, or Latin. 6, well, you know, you could have did that, but you know what I'm saying? Like these numbers should be alarming at the kids that even live there don't even want to go to school there.
Right.
Since they say that the community is very diverse from what I read. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's saying the hell with it, I'm leaving. Out of state tuitions is real.
Right.
And you got a prestigious university in your community. But you say, you know what, I ain't dealing with that. I'm a bounce.
Right.
That's a problem. That's a major problem. It need to get fixed. But we got to figure out a solution for us, them, whoever, to help fix this. We can't just keep talking about it. We got to have a solution. We got to plan and execute.
Immobilize.
So things can get better.
Right.
Because we can do these all day. But until we put one foot in front of the other for these kids, man, because I ain't got nothing to win out of it. Sure. I just want, be able to go to school, man. That's crazy. School already a business anyway. So now I got to deal with this shit too?
Right.
Come on, man.
I agree with you.
Let's get right, man. Yeah. For real.
I just hope the Board of Trustees hears them out. Now, they also said, we'll have a debate in a respectable manner. The tensions are high. I know it can go left real quick, but it seemed like the rector or the president, the rector,
Right, not the president, the rector.
The rector, he kind of anal.
And it's his school. Pretty much, you want to say it.
He got his names on stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's invested in that, man.
But what frustrates me is when he downplays a meeting with these students.
Right.
Like it's just off the cuff. He called it a closed matter.
Students in the actual thing said he was dismissive.
Right.
Very dismissive.
Very dismissive.
That's the shit that kills me.
But I guess my question to you guys here is, what's the difference between University of Michigan, or I'm sorry, Richmond, University of Richmond? Let me get that right because I don't want to disrespect. I don't want to disrespect the Mitten. But what's the difference between that and America, our jobs? Like how many of our issues with what happens racially are just dismissed as you got to deal with it. Like this is the problem with America right here. Right. And you as we start peeling these onion layers back in America, like it's happening here and it's happening there and it's happening here. You knew this was happening. You just turned blind eyes to it.
Right.
The report said 12 years they've been dealing with this.
12 years. The lady said she was out there.
12 years.
That was a student as well. And the lady, the teacher,
that's too long.
She said she's 30 years.
30 years, professor. That's right.
30-year professor.
So this ain't everything, right now is very keyed on black. This been going on.
Right.
But what do you expect in Virginia?
Commonwealth state.
The Commonwealth state.
The Commonwealth.
What do you expect?
I would talk about one of the guys. One of the buildings is named after a guy named Reverend Ronald Ryland. He was the first president of the school. He was a slave owner. He invested all of his funds from the school into a bill for the Confederate War during the Civil War for the Confederates. He bankrupted the school. But they got this building named after him.
I mean, at this point, I think we can all agree that the South is very proud of their heritage of being Confederates. Like they still do the reenactments and like people think this stuff is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right here in Georgia, y'all got Confederate leaders blasted on a rock out on the far east.
Stone Mountain.
Yeah,
Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain.
Yeah, it's a rock. It's no mountain. It's just a rock. You know what I'm saying? I've never been. Since I've been here, I've never been out there.
I've been
I don't want to see it. What do I need to see it for? I live it every day through your ancestors. And the problem is people feel like this stuff happened so long ago and you can deal with the trauma from it. That's been passed from generation to generation.
They tell you to
That's
get
where
over
this, they tell you to get over
over
something.
that.
This is not, they don't even acknowledge that this stuff is like real, like passed down PTSD to us.
PTSD. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And but they'll sit here and they'll judge you on camera or on the news especially and say, why do these people act like that? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is what we deal with as black, and that's why I gotta tell you all the time. It's the difference between being an American and being black or a person of color in America. It's different.
Yeah. They make a point to ostracize us through media, music, any avenue that they can. And like you just said, it's literally PTSD, because you look at it, we get people go out there all the time. And I think just in general, all over the U.S., we've accepted it. And we just turn a blind eye because...
Yo, speaking... and I hate to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But you just said something that we just went through, 2 weeks ago when you said they accepting of this? We at work. We on our break time. Young man's fixed his lunch, right? Sets it down. He got his fire stick going. He about to pick a movie. How many movies is in this world?
A trillion.
How many movies in this world?
A million.
I didn't know where you was going with this, but I remember this now.
It's me, Flex, dude, a couple other people. One of the guys is white. One dude's white.
Yeah.
Guess what he puts on?
Hold on. Now, was the guy that was picking the movie black or white?
He was black.
Brother, okay.
That's what he picked.
Out of all the movies in the
All
world,
the movies
in the
world.
universe.
That's what he picked.
I don't know. Django.
12 years of slavery.
Why did I know you was going to say that?
So we like,
Right.
you're comfortable eating lunch? Watching this? Even the white dude say, hey, my man, I don't want to watch this. So he got an attitude.
My problem with y'all is y'all always got a problem with what's on the TV, but y'all ain't never got no recommendations.
Oh, that's what he said.
What he told us.
I said, my man, put on one of them Avenger things. Well, I don't watch that fake shit. But you watch 12 years of slavery?
Wow.
On your regular downtime?
Bro, he was turning on 12 and looked at me crazy when I said something about it.
Man, hey. But
Y'all really watching slave movies in here today?
Right.
That's what we are.
That's a long one, too.
Yeah, it's real long.
I haven't seen it, by the way.
I ain't seen none of that.
It's,
I'm tired of us being slaves in the help.
Yeah.
But I did like Mace Windu in Star Wars.
So he goes straight to sci-fi.
Screw.
Screw reality. Let's go to sci-fi. Yeah, I like War
Black
Machine
Panther.
and Iron Man and Black Panther.
Yo, I'm just saying. Mace Windu, man, a black Jedi.
Oh
But
man.
not to get off subject. Go ahead. You was about to finish.
So yeah, just saying that as a whole, man, we got to do better. And this is why I've talked about it before on the show. I hate the word cancel culture.
Yeah.
That was no, it's
They were trying to make that cancel culture.
yeah. And I hate that word.
Canceling racism.
Right.
If we gonna cancel any culture, what's wrong with canceling racism? Somebody help me with that.
Why do we have to
Right.
teach you to be a human being, a good human being?
Because they've been taught differently.
They in their programs.
And we all been
And they're
programmed.
pro-
We've
and
been
we-
programmed
just
to
like
accept
we-
it. They've been
There you go.
programmed
To steal and destroy.
perpetuate it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Program to always turn the cheek.
Earn and cheat.
You know?
Yeah, like the little chick that the cop that the white girl that killed the brother in his apartment, and then the bailiff came and hugged and playing in her hair and hugged her.
The brother.
Are you killing?
We
What?
forgive you. You sleeping with
Come
her.
on now,
You sleeping
that's a
with her.
bit much.
Ain't no other way you sleeping with her, man. You
That's too
Right.
much.
Yo,
man in his house. I don't even want to do that because he gone, man. I don't even want to have no fun with that.
and while we in it too, let's not forget about the white cop who pulled the wrong pulled the gun instead of the taser and killed my man too.
Right.
And but they done
That's
barricaded her in her house. And I know it's kind of off, but I know it's still in the same realm. So I don't want to forget that either. I don't remember the name of her off the top of my head, but let's not forget that stuff is happening too.
Minnesota.
Like we got one conviction with no sentences yet, no numbers. But at the same time, man, this stuff is still continuously happening to us in our neighborhood. And all of y'all cats who out here with your Stockholm syndrome, man, don't come to me this week talking about, but this, she had a knife, this, like, I don't come with me with none of that. I done seen them grab people. I've seen white serial killers captured, no problem, and taking a Burger King to get a double or whatever they are at Burger
Whopper.
King. Whopper double Whopper. Because they was
I
hungry.
like Whopper.
Ain't no wrong with a Whopper.
I like Whoppers.
You know what else happened in Virginia? Remember that Windsor Police Department that maced that Army lieutenant.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That was in Virginia.
That happened too.
That's right.
They let him go quick though, didn't they?
No, they fired him.
They
fired
fired
him.
Yeah, they fired.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's serving his country
this is
in
living black.
fatigue
This is being black, living in America.
and treat him like an animal.
Yeah. I mean, at the
Did nothing
only
wrong.
3/5 of a man.
That's
Like
what
I
they
ain't gonna forget that.
Yeah.
Cause they still treat us like it.
That's right.
You know? And then got mad when our votes was 1-for-1 and they lost. I ain't gonna get in that.
Change the whole rule.
Yeah, they come in and
They
change
changed the
the
rules
whole
on that now,
law.
right?
Created new laws for the foolishness. So that's what it all boiled down to, man. They got to come to a point which I don't know if it ever happened to have culpability for the history of the United States. You know what I mean? And to want to do something about it. But if you continue to have a blind eye, you just adding to the problem.
Part of the problem.
You part of the problem.
That's any color.
And exactly.
Any race.
That's
any whatever.
anybody.
You part of the problem.
Yeah. So
I ain't never owned no slaves.
That's what they say.
yeah, they'll come up with something. Well, back in
I ain't never.
I just want to say it because somebody watching this is gonna say it.
You know what's
I
so
just want to
funny?
say it.
Check that
You know what's so
ancestry.
funny? And I ain't never been one.
Right.
So
Right.
why you treat me this way?
right.
I mean, but you know, back in the day, somebody in your lineage.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
passed down to me.
Yeah.
It is what
I'm
it
gonna
is.
own you and all this land out here.
Right.
But hey, I'm gonna buy your jersey when you on the field.
Hey.
When you dunking 360, I'm gonna buy your jersey. I'm
Wow.
gonna cheer you on.
And then I'm gonna pull out all the nonsense that went against you. That why I can't after I can't make no money off you no more.
And then I don't want you
NBA,
to talk
NFL.
about it. Yeah,
Hey,
I don't want you to talk
MLB.
about it
Man
either.
got all kind of charges because he ain't want to play that no more.
Right.
Uh,
Right. We'll see how it happened with that, man.
Yeah.
Hold your head, brother. You know who you are.
Yes, indeed. But we definitely got to shed a light on that University of Richmond situation.
everybody
Definitely.
keep an eye on that story, man.
Yeah.
Please.
That's
Look
big.
it up.
Yeah, research that. Like, let's research that. And let's
Yeah.
maybe we can get more group conversations.
Oh, yeah.
in the group too.
absolutely.
See if we can get what people's opinions are on
Because
that.
you don't know who in your family, because you know everybody care about family.
Yeah.
Might want to go there.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Black Student Coalition at U of R.
To everybody that's
Huh?
down there
Everybody
in that.
Oh
in that-
yeah, apply. Keep applying that
Y'all
pressure,
get
man.
together, Get that shit handled, man.
Keep-
That's terrible.
Keep applying that pressure. You hit them in the pocket.
And if there's anything we could do to help y'all, reach out. If you
Yes.
just make it to somebody's hands who can use some help, man, reach
Yes,
out.
indeed. Yes, indeed. And I think we just got to do that in general, man. There's a lot of. Was talking. Madison was telling me about all the schools down in Jacksonville that's still named after Confederate soldiers and whatnot, and they were trying to. He was telling me that one of the teachers literally got fired, white lady, for putting up a Black Lives Matter flag in her room.
Wow.
I think
She
I
got
seen
fired.
that. I think I seen
You know, but I got to be okay to come to this school that's named after a Confederate soldier.
Yo, you've been okay with it for this long. Why y'all bucking now?
It's time.
Why y'all bucking
It's
now?
time for atonement. That's what it is. And they not ready for it. They ain't ready for it. So they label it as cancel culture.
Yeah. Cancel racism.
Yeah. Please do that.
racism make money.
Yeah. No, that ain't gonna happen,
Racism
bro.
make money.
Yeah. And they gotta always feel like they on top. So yeah, that's gonna be hard to deal with.
All right.
Yeah.
What else you got over there, Sean?
Oh, that's about all I got right there, bro. That was-
I got you,
We
KO.
gonna cut it short though. We gonna cut it short.
Wrapping
Yeah,
this
y'all
thing
sure
up.
y'all
Yeah,
had nothing to talk about?
yeah.
No.
Nah, I've been. This has been fogging my head all week, man.
Yeah.
I ain't
It's been a
had
heavy
time.
week, man.
Yeah,
It
I ain't
really
had time
has.
to look at nothing else. Think about
This
nothing
was so
else.
real. We had no drinks,
Nothing.
and we switched to
The
venue.
location.
right.
Yeah.
We had to get to it.
We had to get serious. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was
to
a
get to
serious show, so people, we didn't need you to see none of the stuff you normally see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Definitely,
dope.
man. So, y'all know how we do it. It's time to go on and get a little something on the way out of here. I'm gonna let you vibe a little bit first, though.
What you about to do?
go home and watch my kids.
Family man.
Family man.
Mortal Kombat out.
Mortal Kombat is out.
I need to check that out.
Finish him.
I watched it last night.
How was it?
Don't talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
oh,
talk
you
about that.
We see y'all sooner than later. Shit was too heavy. I ain't got nothing for you.
Nothing positive on the back end. You usually come with something on the
Yeah,
back.
we'll see them soon.
Big shout out to KO and Benny, man. Beautiful venue, man.
Yeah,
We appreciate that.
Madison, man.
And Madison always looking out, man.
Yes, indeed,
And the
man.
God Flex, man. Buffalo's finest.
Always come.
Shout out to y'all for rocking the roughly made, highly intelligent
Spring
shirt.
line, baby.
Yeah,
Get yours.
the Puerto Rico version. Yeah, we got PR in the building.
So season switched up.
Yeah, season switched up, man. Roughly made, highly intelligent.
Mine on the way. Don't worry about it. It's on
Rude
the way.
intellect, man. Yeah, Sean's on the way, man. You know.
It's on the way. But man, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. We see y'all real soon.
Not next week.
Real soon.
Sooner than later.
All right.
We out.
All right, y'all.
One love.